Hola a todos y bienvenidos un domingo más al canal. Antes de entrar al vídeo quiero poneros un poco en contexto porque he tenido la suerte de conocer y poder tener una charla sobre salud con Källberg, el actual campeón del mundo en powerlifting con 72 años y que en su campeonato más reciente en el europeo en su categoría máster quedó primero levantando más de 500 kilos en total en peso muerto, press de banca y sentadilla. Me costó un poco hacer la entrevista porque estaba nerviosa, tímida, no lo conozco demasiado bien y se me hacía un poco invasivo hacerle preguntas, pero creo que merece mucho la pena. El vídeo es un poquito largo, así que hazte tu infusión, tu té, tu café de confianza y disfruta del vídeo, míralo con tranquilidad y de verdad que espero que disfrutes mucho de su visión sobre la vida porque creo que te puede aportar muchísimo. La entrevista es en inglés pero está subtitulada al español, así que no hay ningún problema para que entiendas todo. Y de todo corazón espero que la disfrutes, que te inspire, porque yo esto lo hago sin ningún tipo de beneficio, simplemente porque me gusta aprender de las personas mayores que tienen una buena salud y creo que da consejos muy interesantes y trucos clave para tener una buena salud. Así que, sin más, dentro vídeo. Today we are with a very strong man, a man who I really admire. Actually, I'm a little bit shy sitting next to him because he is someone who truly challenges everything related and everything we know regarding strength and aging. So he is he's 71 years old.
72 actually.
72.
2 weeks ago.
And is still competing at a high level in powerlifting. Actually, in his more recent competition, the European Master Classic Powerlifting Championship, he placed first in his category, lifting a total of 512.5 kilograms, including 195 kilos in squats, 110 in bench press,
Yeah,
and 207.5 in deadlift.
that's right.
Wow. This is not just about numbers, okay? It's about discipline, longevity, mindset, and completely different health and aging. So he's a proof of that the strength has no expiration date. And today we are going to understand exactly how he does it. Who is Anders? Not only about the training, powerlifting, but who are you in terms of personality or what defines you?
Well, that's a big question actually, but let's start with my work career, I guess. I was studying at the Royal Institute of Technology and eventually got a doctor in nuclear physics, 1985. And then I started working with that and gradually came over to accelerator physics. So my career has really been as an accelerator physicist, how you build accelerators and how you make them work. So that's been a really fun career. Well, I'm retired since 4 or 5 years now. I would say I've always been a man of many hobbies. So I've done a lot of things on my free time. And Boy Scouting was a very big thing for many years. And well, my hobbies now are weight training, I would say. Flowers, actually. Trying to be an amateur botanist.
Wow.
I'm also an amateur pomologist. It's about apples. And I'm a wine taster. That's been a very big hobby for me.
Original hobbies.
Well, just an example of it all.
When did you start training?
I remember that very well because when I was in the 7th grade, I was 12 years old. I changed class, so I got a new friend, and his family was quite a lot into track and field. So he and me started doing shot put and discus throwing because they had these smaller ones that you used as a junior. And then I needed to start getting stronger for the shot put and discus. So as a Christmas present, when I was 12, I got 4 kilo dumbbells from my parents. I still have them at home, cast iron. And then I started weight training.
At home?
At home, yeah. Just
like a game?
Like this. And I never really stopped. So my main sport has been volleyball, actually. So I played that for 20 years or so, and also have a coach education. But I'm a bit short. I'm only 180. It's a bit short for volleyball, so I have needed to train my legs to be able to jump high. So while I was playing volleyball, I was also weight training quite heavy, especially on the legs. But then eventually my shoulder didn't like my volleyball playing anymore. But I still kept on the weight training for about at least once a week, maybe twice sometimes. And then I remember I think I was 59, and I was looking at the results from the Swedish Nationals Masters Championships in shot put again, and I realized I will take a medal if I start there, because I had been doing a little bit of shot putting still. So then I started weight training again, 3 times a week. And I competed in shot put for Masters. I have 3 silver medals, I think. I never won a gold. But what happened was that my body reacted so well on the weight training. So I got stronger and stronger, and then I wanted to see how strong can I be. And
challenge yourself.
So I skipped the shot put and started powerlifting instead. So that's 10 years ago.
So 10 years ago is when you started to do like powerlifting in a more serious way.
Exactly, because if I was doing shot put, then you have to stop the heavy training in spring and start getting explosive instead, things like that. But I wanted to keep on the heavy training instead and see how strong can I become.
Impressive.
So 2016 I started competing in powerlifting. Now I am stronger than I was when I was 30, 40 years old. I have beaten all my records from that age. I've really almost never been stronger than I am now, and I don't understand it really. Sort of waiting for age to hit me, but somehow I managed to keep my strength. It's quite surprising, really.
Regarding the mindset that you need to have to be very disciplined, follow the or when you are tired, what changed in your mindset once you commit into training and to take it more seriously?
I don't know, since I've been weight training all my life, it's become something that I need. If I don't get to weight train for a week, then I get sort of really feeling down and tired. So I need it, so it's not really something that I have to force myself to go to. I remember when I was still working, I was at something called Albanova Physics Center here, and we had a gym in the house. And then I normally went training in the afternoon, maybe 3:30. And I could sit in front of my computer and even fall asleep in front of the computer. This sound when you wake up and you have a finger on the keys. So when I went to the gym, I was really tired in my head. And when I came from the gym 1-2 hours later, then my head was again fresh and active, but my body was tired, which is a much better feeling. So I really love that feeling. The feeling when you're asleep and try to keep awake, that's sort of the worst feeling I know almost.
It's actually a really medicine, the training, for the mental health, not only, but also for the physical way. How do you define your health, your general health right now? Are you healthier than, for example, when you were younger? Or
I'm very tired sometimes. When I come home from the gym, I'm really tired. And I remember from the training, I could do shot putting for 1.5 hours and still more or less pushing that ball the same length as when I started. So I have some kind of the feeling that I don't get tired during my training. Even if I do something very heavy, okay, I get tired for a minute, but then I can do something just a couple of minutes later again. But when I come home, I remember the feeling from these shot put sessions. After a couple of hours, my whole body was aching. It felt like a lorry had hitting me or something. So while training, I can do really heavy training and push my body hard. But then when I come home, I can be very tired for a couple of hours. Need a rest day. And I think I need this very heavy training to be able to be on the level where I still am.
Yes, because usually we used to see people from your age or around your age in the street that they barely can walk.
I'm thinking that same thing.
And
That is the same age as me, or 10 years younger, and he can hardly walk. So that makes me proud and happy that
Exactly, and I think
I'm not there.
the muscle mass is really important for that because it helps you to live more years and with more quality of life.
Yeah, you have a good chance at least to do it. A better chance of
Exactly.
feeling good when you get old.
So you how will you rate from 0 to 10? How would you say is your quality of life at your age?
I don't know. It's pretty close to 10, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm very pleased with my life. So
You are able to do everything by yourself. You don't need help from anyone of your family to do anything.
no,
You are completely independent.
yeah. I'd still try to take the bicycle when I go shopping and stuff like that. I always biked to work all year round. It was 9 kilometers one direction, so that gave me almost 100 kilometers a week just by going to work. But now when I'm not working, I'm there, so I don't think my stamina is as good as it was. I tried to do some biking, but okay, you get a little bit lazier. So
Currently, you have any help from personal trainer or nutritionist, or you do everything by yourself?
I do most everything by myself. Well, I have this deadlift and bench press groups that you are also a member of with Victoria here.
Oh, yeah.
So I try to join them. So 2.5 months in the spring we have a bench press group. And then Victoria is the coach. And deadlift in the autumn, the same thing.
Okay.
So I really like that because since I mostly do my training myself, it's good to have somebody tell you what to do.
For sure. It's important.
But I improvise with a mix of exercises.
Regarding the diet you follow, I think it's also a very important part for the health, but not only for the health, but also for the throughput in the training, to gain strength. If you can tell us what are the food that you eat during one day, for example, what do you do for breakfast, for lunch?
I don't think I eat
Mostly.
anything special really. I eat more or less quite traditional food, I think. And I like cooking, and I cook with butter and stuff like that because it makes food taste good. So I'm happy that my wife tries to always introduce some vegetables in each meal. Otherwise, I might skip that. So I'm not really an example of somebody eating very healthy, I would say, but
Wow.
somehow it worked. So, well, at breakfast I eat oatmeal porridge because hopefully it lowers the cholesterol a bit.
Yeah, this is very
And then
healthy.
some sandwiches, tea. And then, well, lunch can be sort of anything, leftovers or just, well, a decent meal, a real meal. And same thing about dinner, I would say, also a real meal. But I found that when I get older, I have harder and harder to eat much. I get so full in the stomach and that I have trouble sleeping and stuff like that. So I can't eat a lot. I don't eat very much extra protein or so.
Exactly, there's also
I take a recovery drink, 20 grams protein, 40 grams carbs after the training.
Okay.
Which I actually haven't done yet today, but I have to do it later. That's sort of about it actually. Maybe sometimes I take a protein drink in the middle of the week or so.
But no, it's not something that you do every day, right?
No.
The protein milk.
My body weight is more or less constant now since 1 or 2 years, 90 kilos.
Okay, but you say that you don't do anything special in your diet, or
No,
you
really.
eat normal food, prepare at home?
Taste almost once a week. Go to a wine club and we taste wine. So no, I don't think I eat special. So I'm not a good example of that.
Do you take any supplements, for example, creatine every day? Or
I tried creatine, but I didn't feel it made any difference for me, so I don't. I take multivitamin and magnesium. And then maybe magnesium helps. I just take it because it's something you can eat. It doesn't do any harm. No problem with it. So, okay, I can as well add that. It might help muscle development.
And what about your stress? Okay, now, for example, if you don't work, I think that your stress level at this point of your life maybe is not so high. But in general, in your life, how has been your relationship with the stress? Have you been a person really stressed?
No, I don't think so.
Or more
I'm very relaxed, I think. Of course, at work there were stressful moments, but I mean, generally it was not a stressful job, really.
Your job was more relaxed?
Yeah, I was sitting there running the accelerator and fixing things when it didn't work, and so it's really fun. I describe myself as 50% engineer and 50% scientist. It was rather practical scientist work.
So
we had this machine that we had built, and with ultra high vacuum and all the technical stuff that needs to work for a machine to work. So it's really fun. I really liked it.
It wasn't frustrating for you? Like for scientists, sometimes the science can be frustrating when the things doesn't work. For you, no.
I had a colleague that had made a comment once. I remember we used to remind each other about that. He said, it's fun when things doesn't work, because then you get to fix them. You have to solve the problem. No. I really like to solve the problems, and I think I was quite good at it, finding the reason why this thing working. And we had a good support. We had a mechanical workshop and
nice.
electronic workshop, and people behind us that could help us when we needed. So I think it wasn't a very stressful thing, mostly. Of course, there were scientists coming from Australia who wanted to have a beam from our accelerator, and they were waiting there, but normally we could fix things within hours, and they were also understanding. So.
No, but you really enjoy your job. I think this is also very important for the health in general. When you really enjoy your life, you are not stressed. This is, I think, the most important thing that a human can reach, like really enjoy your job.
Yeah, I think so too.
And regarding the environment around you, your family, your wife, your son, your daughter, I don't know if you have it, but what they think about your daily habits?
They're really fascinated, really, and supporting me. So I think that's also a requirement that I can do this still. They support me, and they are really happy about it. Yeah.
They always have support you, even.
Yeah, I never heard them questioning it anyway. So I think it's part of my life, and they are used to it, and they know I need it. So my wife is doing this Sophia exercises. Do you know about them? It's quite a fun thing. That's in Sweden, in Swedish television. There's a woman called Sophia. She's some kind of PT. And she has 20 minutes training sessions every morning. Well, you can look at them in the archive, of course. Or? They are on SVT, Swedish Television Play. So I think they are really excellent. She has some different categories that she between. There can be strength, there can be mobility, there can be abs and stuff like that. So she goes around, and so then she. On the screen, she does the exercises, and my wife follows that for 20 minutes.
Good.
And it's really become a habit for her. I mean, you could almost make one of your blogs about that. So check exercises.
Okay. I will check it for days.
You should give it a look. I mean, she's really done quite a lot for the health of many people at home, I think. So.
Thank you for the recommendation, also for the audience.
Yeah.
You can check it out.
Yes.
You are still performing, as I said in the introduction. You are still performing a very high level.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do you think you do differently from others at your age?
I train harder, I think. My body is used to heavy lifting. Has been since I've been training since 12 years old. And the continuity, I never really stopped. You may have periods in life when you don't have time to train so much with the kids and a lot of work and stuff like that. But I always did it once a week, unless I had to go away or something. When I was on conferences and so, I always tried to find a gym where the conference was, just to be a guest there. So continuity and the ability to really press my body hard.
To be
I guess
constant.
that's it.
Because I was wondering if you guess what can be the secret of your success. What do you
I think it's
answer?
the discipline. I don't know how genetically good I am for this. Probably I can.
Probably you
probably
are
I
not
do have
naturally gifted.
probably something like that. But it's more a mental thing. I think I've been used to training all my life, and I need it really
So do you
hard.
think that someone who repeat the same that you did can achieve the same success
I guess so.
or similar?
Absolutely.
So you think it's not difficult, it's just a matter of keep going, right?
Yeah. One thing I normally say I used to train on the gym here nearby with my colleagues, one at a time more or less during when I was working. And I always told them, don't try to get to my level. You try to improve yourself.
Exactly.
You compete against yourself. You can have me as a motivation.
As
you
an
can,
inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. But the competition should be against yourself. Try to improve yourself.
Every
Because
time.
otherwise you just, this stagnation, you just do the same thing every week and you don't get any stronger, okay, and you get bored after some time. But if you improve, that's a strong motivation
Exactly.
to become stronger. I think that's something that motivates me. I still can become stronger. Motivating for me.
Really is inspiring.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone who feels like it's too late to start? Because in my audience, I have mostly women in the age of 30, 40, 45 years old, and some of them, they never train in their life. And, no, I'm too old to start training. I'm too
Certainly
old.
not. I mean,
What did you say?
you're too old to start, but of course, if you want to start, you need some help. You need to find somebody that can
Important.
make a program for you. So you need some kind of, PT or some groups at the gym they can join or so. So of course you need to learn what to do,
Exactly.
not to become injured if not. So, but since I've been pushing my body this hard without any major injuries, apparently it works.
For sure.
I'm not sure why. Now I have some pain in my shoulder, but mainly I haven't had any major injuries during my life, which is quite amazing.
Also for women is even most important because the menopause and these hormones changes can affect a lot to the bones. So the strength training, I also said that is fundamental for everyone, but mostly for girls, for women.
Yeah, and to put load on your skeleton, on your bones, that makes them
Exactly.
stronger. So absolutely, that's the best way to avoid osteoporosis, right?
Yeah, for me, I always say that I train to be like Anders, to be like Victoria. I mean, to get older, but with more quality of life, to be independent, to don't need help from my family, so I can do groceries alone. So that's for me the goal.
I think if you have a generally strong body, you don't fall as easily. Because if your legs are strong, you can counteract if you sort of hit a stone or something. You can put the other leg forward and you don't fall. So that's also very important when you get older. You need to still be strong.
Exactly. So this is pretty much the that I prepared for today to Anders. I just wanted to finish letting you to say whatever you wanted to say to inspire not only people from your age, but for everyone who is doubting, I don't know if I should attend to the gym, or I don't know if I say whatever you want to say.
If you want to start training, you have to make a habit of it. Otherwise you will start and you do something, even if you got some help, you do it for 3 months and then you just do something else or so. But make it a routine that you do it at least once a week, maybe 2 times a week on a special time a special day. So you sort of book that time for it.
Exactly.
Otherwise, there's always a risk. Oh, today I can't do it. I have to do this and that. Try to make it a habit, and you're never too old. I mean, there have been studies of people of the age of 80 or 90 that start weight training, and they gain a lot, really. So you're too old to grow muscles. And it's good for you. But then you have to find something that you like, of course.
Yeah, and it doesn't need to be
it
the
doesn't
gym.
have to be heavy weight training. It can be something else, but try to do
Always
something. You can look at these Sophia trainings, for instance, sort of a minimum. So, well, make it a habit, do something that you like, and get some help with the programming.
Yeah, what do you say also to people who always said, no, I don't have time for doing gym or for doing sport? What did
Well,
you
as I
say?
said, in some periods of life, when you have a family and a lot of work, it can be difficult, but at least once a week you should be able to squeeze in. So make time for it, and hopefully you will rather soon feel that it makes you feel better, and then you will.
If you
Hopefully.
are good with yourself. So that's it. Thank you very much, Anders, for
Thank
your
you. It's
time
been
and
fun.
for your inspiring
Yeah.
words. I hope you like it. And
Okay, you can be impressed of me, but I'm really happy if I'm an inspiration
For sure.
for the other people that's impressed by me. So you can be impressed, but let me be an inspiration. Then I'm happy.
thank you very much. And if you like it, subscribe, like, and share this inspirational video to all of them that always say, no, I cannot train, I don't have time for that, because I'm sure that you want to be like Anders when you got 70 years old, 80 years old, even 90. I know a woman in Instagram who is training with 90 years old. So it's never too late, for sure. So I hope this message really, you receive this message at home. So thank you very much
Thank
again,
you.
Anders.
It's been fun.
I wish you keep going like that.
I'll try.
Thank you.